We arrived, I remember, with all these restrictions in airports, flying with those masks, with all these things, and
What is the vibe now in Kerala Blasters? What are the things preparing at this point of time?
one chance in your life to show something extra, to have some nice life, maybe to provide and help your family.
I understand the fans and the players, but with a coach and the fans of the people of Kerala, you have an immense connection.
Wants to make difference, especially here on that pitch. And I think that this year, in 6 games we played so far, or 7 games we played so far on our stadium.
Hello everybody, welcome to Faces Question with me, Njan Rekha. It's my pleasure to introduce the personality today, and he's one of Kerala's most loved and respected personality, not a Malayali, but a household name in Kerala. He is Mr. Ivan Vukomanović, and he is the head coach of Kerala Blasters Football Club. Welcome, Ivan. Did I pronounce your name correct, the second name?
Ivan Vukomanović.
Vukomanović, correct.
It's difficult.
No, it's okay. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
We met in TEDx talk, remember? Yeah. And I know that there were around 18 or 19 speakers but you got the biggest applause the moment you entered, like a superhero. I'll come to that later, but today the season is going to start, and you are at the top of the table with around 26 points in ISL. And what is the vibe now in Kerala Blasters? What are the things preparing at this point of time?
Well, everybody is excited because let's say since we are here, it's been our 3rd season in a row. There were new things implemented in the way we work, the way we operate, the way we do things, which was not the case before. And then with that kind of approach, it brought certain results where people got excited, everybody got excited. And then seeing our team performing well, 3rd year in a row, being top table, fighting for the possibility to get trophies, always get that hope, a nice feeling around the club and within the club. It's kind of privileged. It's kind of a very nice thing being there, being inside, being with all those people happening around. And it's awesome. It's awesome. We are now top table. We have 10 games till the end. Yeah.
You start the game by Feb 3rd now?
Feb 2nd, we will start with the away game. And then we'll have 4 more games at home, 6 away. It will be a struggle because somehow everybody wants to play the best games against Kerala Blasters, especially when it comes to games here in Kochi, because it's something special. My experience in the previous, now 3rd year in a row, the feeling of being in that stadium, playing here in front of that crowd, it doesn't exist in India. Somewhere else, with all due respect for every other club, for all other supporters, it's something special. And we as a club, as a team, we have to fight every game. So every game, every point we won since we arrived, we had to fight hard. We had to do our best. So I expect nothing but the same.
I was told that in the stadium, the moment you just do this, the entire stadium rocks. So I just want to talk about the fans. Actually, fans is the heartbeat of each and every club. But for you, it's special because anywhere, my brother Manoj, who is also a football enthusiast and player, was telling that he went to see the match in Bangalore, and 80% of the stadium are Manjapadas. Yeah. And tell me, how did you connect with such kind of a fan base? How did it happen? And your connection specifically?
But in a professional sport such as football, you cannot fake fans. You cannot fake supporters. And the feeling and vibration they feel towards the club when the team performs good, and especially the feeling when they see that the team gives everything on the pitch, that creates that kind of vibe. And then it happens that there are players who are big stars, big names playing, giving everything on the pitch, and the fans, they like that. Then there are on that hierarchy moment when you go climb high up the ladder, the coaches, coaching staff and everything. And all that creates one great compact point that fans adore and like. And actually when you give everything for those fans, and by the way, football, we play for the fans and for the supporters. And without them, we are nothing, especially club like Kerala Blasters. It's awesome when you play these games and when you feel that support. The opponent players, they fear that kind of moments. They give you extra power to do something extra and then to win games. And that's why in the previous now couple of years since we're here, The team broke a couple of records, especially at home, by winning those games and everything. And of course, that creates that kind of hype that everybody wants to feel. And
around 55,000 people come in for a Kerala Blasters
yeah,
match, right?
Yeah, could happen.
Tell me about the banner your fans keep it in the stadium.
I was not expecting that, I must admit. And I look back in the past as a player. As a young boy, when you're growing up, you want to feel those moments. You want to go into the stadium, play in front of big crowds, expecting and dreaming about, fans chanting your name as a player when you are younger.
Yeah.
Then when I started as a coach, I was lucky to have those moments in my previous clubs as a player, playing in front of huge crowds in big stadiums around Europe, around the world. Then as a coach, I was never expecting, because as a coach, you are somebody who is like, okay, in the back line. Because when the game starts, you're sitting over there or staying over there, standing, supporting your players. The players are actually the center point, the guys who are performing, making results. And now the things that have been created with the fans in Kerala is something really priceless for me personally. I have never expected that in my life since I arrived here. And then every moment when I go onto that pitch, when I go through that tunnel, there are goosebumps hearing that. And then for a comeback or certain games, when you see these things, it's awesome. It puts tears in your eyes, mixed emotion of being proud, being happy, being privileged to be there, being honored to be there with all of them, not only players, but with the fans as well. And every single that moment, it's part of one, history that makes us proud, makes me proud. I'm so privileged to be there.
Even I've seen something like, you've kept a tagline or something in the stadium where you get every stadium your own. Remember that huge one, Flex or something in Bangalore? I just saw a visual. So that is where you're 80% of people. And that is what my question is like, okay, fine, I understand the fans and the players. But with a coach and the fans of the people of Kerala, you have an immense connection. I should just relate that to your Jurgen Klopp's relationship with Liverpool. I know that you're sad maybe he's leaving the club.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. But actually, I think our birthdays are really close.
Really? Yours is June?
I'm June 19. I think he's June, if I'm not wrong, 14 maybe 15, something like that. Yeah.
So that's where, the kind of, it's a nation's heartbeat actually. So the state itself looks for you because I'm seeing that frenziness, as Manoj sir was telling that, when we just got down to a small tea kada, then there's the whole, it became, a lot of people came and started talking to you.
But, like we said, when as a person, as a personality, you're honest, you're humble, you're respectful, you're kind, you try to respect every possible aspect, especially when as a foreigner, you arrive in one foreign country. So for me, I must admit, when I got in contact with the management of Kerala Blasters long time ago, in that moment I had a couple of other offers, even it was financially better. But the moment I got in contact with the management, I got a feeling like I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to be there with those people. And then for me, it was an experience of jumping into the unknown, somewhere where I don't know nothing.
Like you study from the language,
everything,
culture.
Everything. And then in my mind was like, okay, then I'll go there. I'll try to adapt, and accepting every possible aspect of life, of culture, and everything. And again, I enjoyed, and I'm enjoying every moment, because since I arrived here, I felt nothing but positive emotion, love, acceptance from every part. And then as a human being, it's my obligation to give all those things back and feeling it at home.
So when you landed, I know that there was a selling point of Kerala for you from the management. When you entered, how was it different? Was it the myth and reality? I'm sure it is much better and bigger than what they told you, because you continued in the state for us. What is it striking similarities you thought from your culture in Kerala?
First, it was still the period of COVID. It was still the period of difficult period for like the whole world. We arrived, I remember, with all these restrictions in airports, flying with those masks, with all these things, and then arriving, of course, before we landed, of course, you go on internet, you read many things, you call some people to get comments, experiences, and all those things. And of course, there are the expectations. Then you land, you say, yeah, okay, now the reality of everything that you can see around, it's a huge difference with the life we were experiencing before in another part of the world.
Right.
But again, the quality of one man today, I think, whether you are going from India somewhere else or coming from another part to India or wherever you go, the biggest quality of one man is the quality to adapt to certain levels of whatever circumstances, environments, to accept many different things. And it was from some parts like a cultural shock, and many things that you see that you cannot see.
Okay.
Over there from where we are coming from.
Yeah. So any cultural shock per se?
Yeah, speaking about traffic,
Honking?
first thing, because in Europe, in the part where we're like honking is, I don't know, like I have a car for more than 10 years. I don't remember me honking, for 10 years because it's not happening.
Yeah.
Then many other things that you face, which is here, like, okay, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
And then you accept those things, with a smile, and that it makes you happy.
Right.
And as a person, it makes you later proud because you are capable to adapt, to accept those things. So there's no problem with that.
Football is not about the skills always, It's not about the skill, but also a camaraderie. So how do you bring in the players having that kind of a brotherhood and ensuring that each of them support and collaborate for the best results of in the pitch? I mean, in the
Well, it's a daily job, to connect all those dots. Every training, every moment we spend together to create this friendship feeling. Because in the previous season, the ISL season is on a short term, and there sometimes before, like, there is no time that you can build up certain things. Everybody expects and says, the moment you arrive, you have to perform. Otherwise, in 2-3 months, it's over. So then you need to create those relationships among players, among technical staff, medical staff, so many people around, like you say, fans, PR, your community, people around when you go out to the street, that the people feel that this is part of our identity, that Kerala Blasters becomes
our
something,
life.
That, whoever speaks later about Kerala as a state, that they say, I know about Kerala Blasters because it's a part of your identity. Many countries around the world, they have that.
Yeah.
Whether is it with national team, whether is it with the local clubs or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that it was missing in previous seasons. And I said, this is one of the things that we have to recreate to get back to people because people like that.
Yeah.
Because the fans, they need that.
Yeah.
And we wanted with those relationships, with the smile, with the emotions, to bring that back, to feel that, especially getting some young boys from local ranks here, Malayalis getting in the team, being proud of playing for Kerala Blasters, and that the people also, they got identified with them. Yeah. This is important.
When you travel across state, I know the answer we're going to say, but which part of Kerala gets more and more frenziness about the football? Which part you thought was the most aligned and most?
Well, let's say, speaking about being in Kochi, speaking about stadium and feeling here in Kochi and around. So we felt the craziness when we went up north, Calicut, Malappuram, all these parts. You feel that, actually wherever you go, you see the people recognizing players, now coaches, and then you see that the people, they love the fact that Kerala Blasters rebuild that kind of status. And it is important. We want to keep that because it makes people happy, and our job and our obligations to do that. Right. Because we are leading and managing one important thing that is important for the community. Yeah. So
I think that is where, tell me any moments where you've had some of this very interesting connections with your fans. Remember you to recollect a moment?
Like there's so many every time we are traveling.
Anything comes to your mind which is emotionally touching or is funny?
I remember once we went on a boat, exploring the, and then arriving there in one, let's say, rural part. It's maybe there were like 5-6 houses. Seeing people living in different conditions, I'd say. Kids running around, bare feet and all this. You see them, and you see them playing with one ball. I mean, we were a couple of players, and then you see them being so happy, seeing players, coming to interact and running around, calling everybody. These kind of things are priceless for me, because I would never speak about, financial side or things that you maybe want to achieve in your life or whatever. No, but these kind of things are something that fulfills my heart.
Yeah.
This is something that makes me happy, the happiest person.
Yeah.
When you see that the people are happy with the things that you are doing, not per se for them directly, but something that you bring back to community, that people are happy.
Yeah.
So that makes me happy.
Give me 30 minutes. What happens in the dressing room before the match starts?
Okay, arriving at the stadium, every player has his own preparation for the game, because the team talk and everything, we do it before we go to the stadium, let's say in the hotel. Okay, there are a small team talk about how we're going to play the game, what we're going to do. And then when we arrive at the dressing room, for the first part, I let the players be on their own, because I know the feeling when I was a player. When you arrive in the dressing room, many of them, they have their own, there's a headset, music, maybe listening, preparing for the warming up. And then in these, let's say 1 hour, you are around preparing final things with technical stuff, talking to some players apart about some small details, before how they have to, especially with young players. Maybe if they're making their debut, or maybe if they're playing for the first time in front of huge crowd, because all the young players, the night before they play, they get that game in the head. Before the game, they are already in a kind of stressful situation. You want to make them feel easier about it.
Yeah.
Go through that easier. And then they go out for the warming up. And then when they come back, there is these 5-10 minutes of, mental side, depending on the game, depending on opponent, how we want to play the game. Certain things that we say, that some teams, they can scout us, they can know us, they know us, how we play, they know the way we deal with the ball or do things. But certain things that when say that, they don't know our heart. They don't know the way we go into that tunnel, onto that pitch with our fans or something. And our heart is something that wants to make difference, especially here on that pitch. And I think that this year, in 6 games we played so far, or 7 games we played so far on our stadium, so far we didn't lose. So we want to continue that, and our stadium is something special. And our heart is something special, because as Kerala Blasters player, you must know, and I say that to every player when they arrive into the club, this club is special, and the fans are special, the environment is special. Not everybody can play here. It's difference, big difference, and I respect every player, but some of them will go to some other club and they will perform well. They will come here and they will not perform well, because it's different. So all of them, they must know, especially our players who are growing up with us, when you are here, you must give something extra, because you are fighting for one important logo on your chest, for people supporting you, and these kind of things we say, we manage, and I say so far so good.
Yeah. You being a player, I mean, you were a defender all the time in your life.
Defender and midfielder, yeah.
So some kind of certain, values you carry personally as, when you grew up as a footballer, and what are those qualities you have always been telling and mentoring your boys?
Being honest to yourself, first thing. So if as a player you are capable to accept the fact, when you play good, you know that you were good. When you are less good, you have to be honest to yourself and correct to yourself, saying, I was less good. Today it was not my maximum, or I need to do it better. If as a player, at one moment with your ego and everything is going around you, if you're capable to do that, you will make huge steps forward. You will improve as a player, as a person in your life. And these kind of things, when you recognize, what helps me the most, my previous playing football career, is that I can recognize precisely every moment when I see some players, why they feel like that, how they feel, what they think, because sometimes I laugh in those moments with them and saying, the things that you are thinking now and doing those things, I was doing the same, but maybe 20 years ago. So it's this kind. So that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
So as a manager.
You talked about ego and feedback. These two are actually two different poles, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a coach, how do you bring that in line? Where is a thin line, and how do you bring that in consent, because it's best for the team?
Well, I'm always honest with players. They know that, and even if it's hard, the truth can sometimes be really hard for them, But I don't mind telling them that in a moment that I have to put that ego aside, because let's say a part of playing football. So who we are, we are persons who are running around, maybe being talented a little bit more than some other boys. Okay, but the line of boys waiting in front of that training grounds over there, saying, "Coach, please give me one chance. Can I come and practice?" There are so many boys around. They want and they can play football. So the boys, they should also understand when you get that chance in your life to play football, one chance when you get, you have to hold on to it, because you have one chance in your life to show something extra. To have some nice life, maybe to provide and help your family having better life. That was my case when I was a young player, started playing.